Like we're going to hear, appreciate those in attendance, either in person or on Zoom. We open this meeting. This is the Morgan Redevelopment Agency meeting, the RD meeting. Start with, we'd like to ask for a approval or discussion on the minutes of our November 24th meeting. Questions on the minutes or motion?
Mayor,
Tony,
Mayor, I will make a motion that we approve of the minutes of the minutes of the Redevelopment Agency electronic meeting on November 24th, 2020.
is there a second?
I'll second that, Mayor.
Motion by Tony, second by Jeffrey, that we pass and accept the minutes of the Redevelopment Agency electronic meeting of November 24th, 2020. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye. Eric and Dave, give me a thumbs up in favor. Aye.
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 Okay, any opposed, nay. Okay, motion passed unanimously. Therefore, the meeting will be accepted. Now I need a motion to open a public hearing. You need public hearings listed in your minutes for 2 items.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved by Tony, seconded by Jeffrey. We open public hearing on the item for opening and adjusting the budget and a tentative budget for the coming year. Is there any discussion on opening the public hearing? Okay, so no proceed to vote. All those in favor, show raise of hands. The vote public hearing. Okay, any opposed? Okay, motion passed. We're now open for public hearing. Teresa, has anyone called in from this community wishing to be on the no citizens? Okay. If no one's called in and no one here in the audience for the public hearing, I entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved, Mayor.
Motion by Jeffrey, second by Jeff. We close the public hearing. Any discussion on the motion? See now proceed to vote. All those in favor of closing the public hearing, raise your hand, please. Eric? Close. Okay. Okay. Any opposed? Motion passed. Public hearing is now closed. Okay. Open your budgets. We'll start with item number 2 now. Item number 2 on the agenda is a resolution opening and adjusting our prior year budget, 2020, 2021 fiscal year budget to open and adjust that. As you look at the budget forms you received on your budget, you'll notice the columns there. Some of you have seen this before. First column is the actual so far. And I think if Ty can correct me, I think Ty told me that was through the end of April.
March.
Through the end of March. So we still have April, May, and June, 3 more months that we'll go into those actuals before 21 is finished out. So those numbers could increase some on the actual. You see the original budget when we passed a year ago. The amended budget is a suggested amended budget that Ty suggested for us to consider the amendment. And the 2022 is a tentative budget. The item we're on now, item number 2, is talking about the amended budget. That's what resolution 2111 is. So discussion with that. Any questions to start with? Any questions Ty can answer those? If not, we'll have Ty give a brief summary. Any questions on the budget from anybody?
So Ty, just quickly, just walk us through the appropriation from fund balance. We haven't shown anything this year. We had $250,000 original budget. Now the amended budget's 118. Just kind of.
Yeah, so in this budget, I just used the appropriation from beginning fund balance in order to, as a budgetary strategy to make the balance come to zero. So originally, that's how much original fund balance we planned on using if we would have spent the entire amount. If
Okay,
you can see my cursor, but our actuals came in much lower. And to this point in time, we have not allocated any beginning fund balance. So what we're left with is for the budget year, we ended up $115,000 over budget, right? Which we planned on from the beginning. So the reality is we're not going to, in this line here, we're not going to appropriate the beginning fund balance. We're just going to leave 115 as the deficit, which means it just comes out of the fund balance. Yep. So the amended budget just recognizes these are the expenses. So we came in less than the original budget called for, but in order to balance it, we put 118,000 towards the appropriation of beginning fund balance. So in a lot of ways, this is just a budgetary exercise. It's not the reality of how much is currently in the current fund balance.
So Ty, recognizing that, it looks like probably the biggest factor would have been our business loans and grants, down by 139,000. What happened there that was, that much less than what you had originally anticipated? Yeah.
On this line item? Yeah,
Yeah,
so
363 to 224.
yeah, so part of this budget year was $200,000 towards the hotel's connection fees. And what ended up happening is the power department had negotiated with the hotel to, instead of just making their connection, we put in a whole new transformer and put the whole line underground that would go behind Commercial Street. So the power department paid that portion of the 200,000 for the hotel because we gained that much in new infrastructure that the power department owns. So instead of having 200,000 come straight from the RDA, the power department reimbursed its share of the new system because it was new system above and beyond what the hotel required. We just took an opportunity to do a system upgrade. And so that then we spent less than we thought out of the RDA.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Yep. And it was an appropriate expense because the power department owns that new infrastructure that went into the power department.
Mm-hmm.
Where the other ones were just a simple connection fee, impact fees, like that sort of thing. We reimbursed all of those out of RDA, but not the brand new transformer and the rerouting. So, but we did pay the 200. It just came out of, we didn't anticipate the opportunity to use the power fund that way.
So that pretty much drives that seems to me to be the significant change in the budget there. That pretty much drives most of the change, it looks like.
Correct.
Yeah, good, thanks.
Any other questions on the RDA budget? Or thoughts as far as the amended budget goes? Okay. Seeing none, Ty, do you have any comments on the amended budget?
No, just after reviewing it with the mayor, I thought I would bring up the fact that the current fund balance after the 115 deficit is 136,661 in the RDA fund balance, not reflected in the budget. So you can see next year, we're also planning on a $25,000 deficit because of the hotel incentive. And so that fund balance will, if we have several negative budget years in a row, it's nice to have that fund balance there just to make sure we honor the commitment to the hotel reimbursement. So that's all I have.
There's no further discussion on the amended budget. I'll entertain a motion on item number 2, resolution R2111.
Mayor, I'd move to approve resolution R21-11, the Morgan Redevelopment Agency, a resolution opening and adjusting the 2020-2021 fiscal year budget for the Morgan Redevelopment Agency of Morgan City, Utah.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, motion by David on resolution 21-11. The resolution opening and adjusting the 2020-2021 fiscal year budget and the Morgan Redevelopment Agency of Morgan, Utah. Any discussion on that motion from anybody?
So all these total taxes, it just represents, I mean, there's another 3 months to go in this fiscal year. Is that correct? The April, May, June
Yeah, but all the property taxes
Taxes are-
have been paid.
collected?
Yeah, there's no more expenses in the
Okay.
last 3 months because all of the RDA grants have been paid. All of the property taxes have been paid, but there are some lingering people that paid late or whatever, that the RDA will get a portion of those. So there'll be very minor adjustments to the revenue.
It'd be minimal.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Any further discussion? Okay, if not, we'll proceed to vote. We'll roll call vote since this is a resolution. David?
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Tony?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
And Jeffrey?
Aye.
Okay, motion, resolution passed unanimously. We moved to item 3. Item 3 is on the same RDA budget. Item 3 looks at the tentative budget. That's the far column on the right. With that, is there any discussion, any questions on the tentative budget, the far right column? Any questions on that budget? Or any input you'd like to make, Ty, on the tentative budget?
No, I think we covered it at the
Yeah, I
same time.
think we did. Okay. If there's not any further discussion, I'll entertain a motion on item number 3, which is the adopted intended budget with one addition they need to be aware of. June 8th will be the date for that to be set. Is there a motion?
Mayor,
Tony?
I will make a motion that we approve or adopt resolution R21-12, the adoption of a tentative budget for the Morgan City Redevelopment Agency for 2021 and 2022, and set June 9th, June 8th, sorry. June 8th is the date for final approval.
Is there any discussion? No, there's a second.
Second.
Okay, motion by Tony, second by Jeff. We pass and adopt resolution 2112, adopting a tentative budget for the Morgan Redevelopment Agency for the 2021 and 2022 fiscal year and set a date for approval of June 8th. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, proceed to vote. Again, it's roll call, so we'll call roll call vote. Tony?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Jeffrey?
Aye.
David?
Aye.
And Eric?
Aye.
Okay. Motion passed unanimously. Resolution 2112 is passed. Any further information on the RDA that anybody would like to ask or talk about as far as general RDA input?
So I guess you need to go back toward the other 2 entities, the school with the budget, or they don't have to do any of that? They've already approved the RDA for how many more years?
10.
10 more?
Yeah,
Okay.
so 9 more years. What I do is just an annual report. So I did give the school district and the county council an annual report in December, November, December on, what the RDA has done, how much has been brought in, what And so, yeah, this formula, these projections are just kind of set depending on how property taxes play out. So,
And those two reports appear to be received positively by those two entities. Further questions or input on the RDA? Okay, seeing none, I'll declare the RDA meeting adjourned. Now, with that said, for you, Teresa, everybody needs to exit. At least Eric and David, you'll need to exit and then come back in with the new Zoom link.